KwaZulu-Natal Premier Thamsanqa Ntuli has raised alarm over escalating tensions in Durban, where recent protests in the CBD have brought underlying frustrations between local communities and foreign nationals into sharp focus. The demonstrations, which have seen groups of residents take to the streets, are rooted in a mix of economic hardship, high unemployment, and perceptions that foreign-owned businesses are undercutting local traders. In areas of the Durban CBD, informal traders and small shop owners have reportedly clashed, with some protests disrupting daily commerce and raising fears of broader instability.
Good evening to you, Premier, and thank you for your time. If I'm not mistaken, you are also the Executive Authority for Community Safety. So over and above your responsibilities as the first citizen of the province, but also directly charged with the political oversight of the work to ensure that citizens are safer in KwaZulu-Natal. So on that basis, then, let me ask you to give me your reflections of the events of the last 2 days in the Durban CBD. Is it merely civic action and protest movement against undocumented migrants and illegal migration, or is there something more to it that perhaps concerns you?
Well, good evening, Ntuli Sizwe and the viewers at home, and thank you for having me. I just received the report today, and someone also shared some videos at night yesterday. And I've instructed the Department of Community Safety and Liaising to gather more information from the police. Because when I look at the videos, police were also present. But I at the same time, wish to call for calm to our people in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, and to also call for calm even to those foreign nationals that the confrontation is not necessary, because the law is clear. When you want to be in KwaZulu-Natal or to be in South Africa, you must have papers. If you don't have papers, you must apply for the papers. If you don't do one of the two, you will have to be in your country. As for South Africans, when they go to countries, they will have to get papers. But encouraging the people of KwaZulu-Natal to ensure that when we handle this matter, we handle it with sensitivity. We should not be seen as being against our African brothers. We must write a statement which is clear that the problem is with regard to the undocumented foreign nationals. And we are working with the civic organizations. We had a round table, even Marsh and Marsh was also present, and other civic organizations were also present, including Home Affairs, police, and many other sectors, because we were saying this problem requires that we confront it together, but ensuring that citizens are safe when it is being addressed, and even our African brothers are also safe when it is being addressed. We have even ourselves as government have been hitting operations with different sectors, including police and Home Affairs, in businesses, and also in places where they are found. And even on coming Friday and Saturday, I will be leading operations. But that is not enough. Hence, the President of the Republic, during the State of the Nation address, he was categorical to pronounce that all employers who are found employing undocumented foreign nationals must be arrested. And I've repeated that in the SOPA, and I further made a call that even those who are landlords, who are giving them businesses to rent, or who are giving them cottages to rent, if they are undocumented foreign nationals, they must also face the law.
Premier, I'm surprised that you haven't received a report on it yet, and you're saying that you've asked for that report to be provided to you through the department that you lead of community safety as executive authority. I would have expected that perhaps through the management and control of the SAPS structures that manage and control the SAPS, you would have been briefed. This is one of those hot button issues, isn't it? The issue of migration, and we've seen how it has manifested itself in tensions in KwaZulu-Natal. I would have thought where there were actually clashes on the streets of Durban CBD, you would have been briefed by now. Premier?
Yeah, in fact, it's easy to think so, Thula Sizwe. The only challenge is that even the availability today, because I was in part of the program of the youth, and I only managed to engage after the program because that was the time wherein I got information that something went wrong, apart from discovering that at night, one leader sent me some video clips, which I was only able to see them after the session with the youth. Hence, I requested that the department must liaise with the police so as to get the facts on what happened so that we'll find a way forward to mitigate and ensure that we support our civic organizations in a manner that will not cause any violence between themselves and the undocumented foreign nationals.
Right, Premier, let me just ask you then before we part ways about part of the reason why you've had a busy day. It is about those 300 digital devices that you were handing out to learners, I understand, and this is unemployed youth, is it? In 3 districts in northern KwaZulu-Natal. What's the overall aim and objective of it all?
Absolutely, Thula Sizwe. You know, in KwaZulu-Natal, those districts, they are the most poor districts. You talk of Umkhanyakude, Zululand, and also King Cetshwayo. They are going to undergo a training on the cyber security and also the techno entrepreneurship. And we want to provide skills to our youth that is unemployed. Because of the skills mismatch, you find that our youth, they have diplomas and degrees, but they are not employable. Hence, we are trying to collaborate with SETAs. It's a deliberate program by the provincial government of KwaZulu-Natal, because I've said we cannot sit back as government when people are trying for employment and we're not seen at doing something to correct the mismatching skills, which is there wherein you find that the labor market has opportunities, but the skills that are there in the province are not matching the opportunities. Then we are trying to fix that. Hence today, the 300 youth, which the program of skilling them was being launched, is one of the programs that are going to be taking place, because I want to see KwaZulu-Natal in all 54 municipalities. I want to see programs of trainings, providing skills to the youth, but the skills that are demanded by the labor market, the skills that are also demanded by the economy, so that either they get employed after a training or they participate in the economic growth after training.
All right.
Premier Ntuli emphasized that while these grievances cannot be ignored, they risk being expressed in ways that threaten social cohesion and safety. He cautioned against the scapegoating of foreign nationals, noting that such tensions can quickly escalate into violence if not addressed through dialogue and lawful channels. The situation echoes past outbreaks of xenophobic violence in South Africa, including the 2008 xenophobic attacks in South Africa and subsequent flare-ups in cities like Johannesburg. These incidents have often been fueled by similar dynamics: competition over limited economic opportunities, inadequate service delivery, and mistrust between communities. Ntuli has called for a coordinated response involving law enforcement, community leaders, and civil society organizations to de-escalate tensions in Durban. This includes ensuring public order in the CBD, protecting vulnerable groups, and creating platforms for constructive engagement between locals and foreign nationals. At the same time, analysts point out that unless deeper structural issues, such as unemployment, inequality, and urban economic pressures are addressed, protests like those in Durban are likely to persist. The challenge for provincial leadership will be balancing immediate security concerns with longer-term strategies to rebuild trust and foster inclusive economic participation in one of South Africa's key urban centers.